Hi y'all, and welcome back to Easy Nails. Here I'm going to show you how to make easy fun nails for everyone at home. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sculpt your own acrylic set. Easy enough to do for beginners and advanced nail techs alike. Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to sculpt your own acrylic nails at home with nail forms. Here I have a nail form. This one is from Nail Couture, and you see I am pinching the nail form first, and these things that I'm pushing together are called the wings of the nail form, and you want them to line up evenly and push it together. Then you have this little tab at the end. You're going to want to split that in half. And first of all, you're going to want to slide this onto the nail to see how it is fitting. Alright, you can see that gap there on top of the nail. That is not fitting perfectly. So a quick and easy solution to this is just to take little scissors and clip the sides here. Just cut out little clips of the side on the nail form, and this is going to ensure perfect fit. Perfect fit is super important when you're applying nail forms because it's going to make a huge difference in the overall look of your sculpted acrylic nail set. Alright, and here you see again, I am lining up that nail form on the free edge of the nail. You literally tuck it right behind the free edge of the nail, and you see how this is almost a perfect fit. There's a little bit of a gap between the free edge and the nail form, so you cut just another little sliver off in a U formation at this part of the nail form. Alright, here you can see how that is perfectly fitting. It's tucking right underneath the free edge of the nail and going straight out onto the form. And you want this to be as straight as possible, otherwise your nails will come out slanted or crooked. And here you can decide the shape of the nail that you want. Here I'm going for a coffin nail, so basically for a coffin nail you're just going to pinch the top of the nail form to the desired length. And these nail forms have numbers on them so that you can ensure that all the nails are the same length. And again, this is going to give us a coffin shape or stiletto if you would like. And if you want more of a square shape, you would just not pinch the end of that tip. Okay, here I am picking up some acrylic and building it onto that nail form. This is Ezflow True Dip Powder. That's right, you can use dip powder on acrylic nails as well. And you can see here I'm just building up that nail straight onto the form. I start with the free edge, then I use a middle bead right in the middle and right underneath, and then right next to the cuticle. Okay, so here you see I'm having another nail form here, and I'm going to cut in a U shape just to make that little U shape fit my free edge of my nail perfectly. Again, you do not want to have a gap between the free edge of your nail and the nail form. And that's what I love about nail forms. You can customize them to your own nails. And here you see I'm checking the fit. I see that there's still a little bit of space between the free edge and the nail form, so I'm making it a little bit wider here. Okay, so here you can see that that's a pretty close to perfect fit. So you are going to close the top of the form, make sure everything is even. And then if you would want a square shape, you would leave it like this, but we are going for a coffin, so you are going to pinch it right at the desired length that you want. And this is going to help you easily create that coffin nail shape. Okay, so here I didn't like the placement of my nail form, and that's why I love these e-nail couture nail forms, because they stick together pretty well, but yet they're easy enough to peel apart if you see that you made a mistake on the nail form placement of your nail. So here you can see I opened it back up, the nail form, and I am rearranging it on the nail form on my nail to my liking. Here I'm pinching it at the desired length. Again, all these nail forms have numbers on them so you can make sure that all of your nails are the correct length. Here I'm using my Glitterbels Hema free monomer, and again the Ezflow True Dip powder, and the color is Oh Yes. Here I'm showing you I'm picking up my first ball. It's a medium consistency, and first thing you want to do is build up your free edge. Now, I highly suggest at this point, once you put the pearl of acrylic on the nail, to let it sit for a second and then pick up those side walls. I think it makes it much easier to work with. Here I'm grabbing another bead because I want my nail to be longer, and for me it's easier to work in small beads, sometimes in bigger beads. It's really up to you. And here you can see I'm building up that free edge first. This is the easiest way to build acrylic nails on nail forms, and don't worry if you make any mistakes, if it looks bad at the beginning. That's what I love about nail forms. You can fix it all at the end with filing. Okay, this bead is going directly underneath that free edge bead, and this is blending it in on your natural nail with the free edge that we've created. You can see I'm constantly lifting up those side walls and trying to shape it as best as I can into my desired coffin shape. Okay, I'm placing a bead right underneath that middle bead and blending it out. And this is also going to make sure, you guys, if you follow this method, free edge first, then middle bead, then cuticle bead, this is going to give you a perfect apex without even trying. An apex builds the structure of the nail and is super important to ensure that those nails last you and don't break. Okay, here what I did there is I am pinching the nail. This kind of gives you that strong C curve to the nail. And you want to do this when your acrylic nails are almost dry. Alright, here I'm fitting my nail form on the finger again, right underneath, tucking it right underneath that free edge. And what I did there is I took the tab, this is a sticker that comes on your nail form. You can stick it right underneath where that U is on the nail form, and usually this ensures a pretty close to perfect fit. It's a pretty easy hack with nail forms if you don't feel like cutting out your nail shape. Okay, here I'm going in again with my acrylic. This time I'm using OPI's Absolute Perfect White. And you can see I'm going in with that free edge bead. I'm letting it sit for a second. And then I'm picking up those side walls first. And this is where you kind of want to get the shape that you want on the side walls. Make sure those lines are nice and crisp. Again, don't worry if it's perfect. You just want to get the general idea, as we'll file it up later. You can see I'm picking up those side walls again. And here I'm going in with another bead. And I'm placing it right on the tip there just to give me a little bit more length. Again, these nail forms, as most nail forms, have numbers on them. And this is to make sure that all your nails can be the same length without guessing. Okay, I'm picking up those sides, and basically you just take the body of your brush and you kind of push upwards on the nail form, and this does the trick for you. Okay, here I'm placing another bead right in the middle there underneath the free edge bead, and I'm feathering it very lightly towards the tip. You do not want to pull the acrylic, as this will just take off the acrylic. And this is what I love about nail forms. You can see it's a little bit messy there, but in the end with some filing it cleans up really nicely. It's actually, nail forms are super easy for beginners. Don't be afraid of them. You can see here a lot of mistakes, but it's easily cleaned up at the end with the file, and the sculpted nail look is really beautiful. And here I'm just picking up a teeny tiny dry bead just to get to the opacity that I want to on all the nails. And again, don't be afraid at this point. You can see the nails are looking a little bit messy because at the end you can fix up everything with your nail file. And here again, I'm adding some beads in areas that I want to be more opaque on the nail. You can really take your time with this. Okay, here again, I'm pinching the nail as I told you before. All right, here I'm taking a 180 grit nail file, and you basically just go back and forth parallel to the side walls of the nail, and you can see how all of that nail is shaping into place beautifully. Okay, here I'm going parallel to the tip of the nail, and I'm just going back and forth on that. That's going to give us the square coffin shape. Again, here I'm going sidewall parallel to the nail, back and forth, doing this over all of the nails on each side, and you can see that the nail file is slightly tilted, I would say at a 45-degree angle towards the tip. This is going to give you that tapered coffin look. And if you want a square look, you would just go at a 90-degree angle. And here you can also take some scissors to cut off any excess edges of that sidewall. It makes filing a lot easier. You can see at a 45-degree angle there. I'm just going back and forth on the sides of the nails. This is super important. It's going to give you that crisp shape at the end. And here I'm going completely parallel to the nail, and this is going to make our square tip. And I always like to go in with the hand file first and then an e-file, and as always you can do all this work with a hand file if you would like to. If you do not feel comfortable with an e-file, do not worry, as all these things can be done easily with a 180 grit hand file. Okay, so here I am taking my 180 grit sanding band, stuck that on my e-file, and I'm going at a rather high speed, medium speed. I'm going up and down the nails. This is basically shaping the nail and debulking any excess acrylic that I do not need at this point. No technique to this here, just going back and forth on the nails. This really ensures that the nails are smooth, takes out any bumps and excess acrylic that is unneeded. And again, you can totally do this step with your hand file. Okay, so I'm also showing you here how you can use your e-file to shape up the side walls of those nails. You can see I'm going in about a 45-degree angle, and you can just take the e-file and slide it up and down the side walls of the nails, and you want to make sure you are constantly moving with this. Do not hold your e-file in one place on the side wall of the nail, as that's going to cause a dent. As long as you're constantly moving with your e-file, you can also shape those side walls up with the e-file easily at a 45-degree angle. Just hold it up and down, run up and down the side walls of those nails, and this will shape them up for you as well if you don't want to use a hand file. Here I am going around the cuticles, back and forth in circular motions, one side to the other, and this is going to seal in the cuticle, basically ensuring that you do not have any lifting, and it's going to ensure a perfect, clean, crisp, salon-like look at home. This step is super important, guys. Again, you can also go around the cuticle area in circular motions with your hand file. And here I'm going back and just going back and forth, up and down the nail with my e-file. Again, this is just removing excess acrylic. And here you can see I'm sharpening up those side walls with my e-file. Again, you can also use your hand file with this step. You can see I'm holding it at a 45-degree angle, and I'm really tapering in those sides to get that beautiful coffin look. And here again, you guys, most people think that building up the nail is the most important step, but honestly, it doesn't really matter what your nail looks like when you're building it up with acrylic. It can be messy or perfect. The most important step is filing. Filing can make a perfect application look even better, and a not so perfect application look flawless and perfect. So take your time with this filing. Don't skimp out on this step. Again, it's super important to ensure that salon like perfect nails at home. And here I'm showing you guys how I get that free edge with the nail file. I basically hold the e-file kind of slightly tilted at the tip and go in one motion from side to side, one side holding it slowly to the other, and this is going to give you that square tip. Okay, here in the end I go back with my hand file. This is a 180 grit hand file. Alright, so here I'm cleaning off my nails. You can see how, from how they looked before to how they look now, you see how we cleaned up everything with filing and they look nice and perfect. I cleaned them up with rubbing alcohol. Super important before you start with your bling application and top coat that you got all the dust off your nails. So here I'm using my top gel as an adhesive to put on these beautiful crystals that I got from Amazon. I would link them down below. And basically, I am just scattering different sizes of crystals all along my nail here. And this is an easy way, basically, if you're doing a nail shape, an S nail formation, which is what I'm going to do, kind of like a squiggly line from the bottom of the nail to the top. This is an easy way to do that. Just apply all the crystals you want on the nail. And then you can use the tip of your crystal picker upper tool. This one I got from Amazon. And you can use the tip of that to basically arrange the stones how you like them. And you can see here, I'm just going to arrange the stones in a pattern that I like after I got them all on the wet coat. This is again a top gel uncured layer. And I love using this to adhere crystals because here you can see you can move them around and work with them forever, basically as long as you like. Perfect for beginners until you cure that gel. It gives you a lot of time to work with the stones. And surprisingly, they do not fly off the nail. They stay put in the gel pretty good, so you don't have to worry about that. You can see here that beautiful S formation that I got. And basically you can mess around with this until you cure it in your UV LED lamp for 60 seconds or as long as your top gel requires. Here you can see I did an S design on my first finger, and here I'm working on my ring finger. Okay, and I am applying some top gel on my pinky finger here. Okay, here I'm grabbing some beautiful different shaped crystals. I got this from Amazon. These are baby crystals. They're just beautiful, and I will link them down below. And the crystal picker upper that I'm using is also from Amazon. It's a crystal katana dupe, and it's super affordable. Again, I'll link that down below as always. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments section. I will answer every question. Now with these bigger stones, a dupe that I have is you can use any builder gel that you have. Before you put on that top gel, put a really thin coat of that builder gel and put that top coat directly over the builder gel. Do not cure it. And make sure it's a no wipe top coat, and then you can go ahead with your crystal placement. And this really locks those big crystals into place. They never come off with this method. It's a great method to use, especially with bigger sized crystals. Again, you just take a builder gel, put a nice layer of that over the nail. Do not cure it. Put your no wipe top coat on top. Put your crystals in the arrangement that you like and then cure it. This basically is a super secure way to adhere crystals. I actually have a super hard time taking them off when I'm ready to change up my set. And here you can just move the crystals to your liking, because again, this is uncured gel, which gives us the time to move around our arrangement. Super easy for beginners. You don't have to worry about those stones sticking in place. You can move around how you like until you cure. You can see how beautiful these nails look. A sculpted acrylic nail set, super easy for beginners with nail forms. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching Easy Nails. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Here you see this beautiful set that we did. As always, I'm Easy Nails, showing you how to make easy, fun nails for everyone. Please, please, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks, guys. See you next time.